Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions with me, Marianne. Welcome to the January reading for the sign of Libra, beautiful air sign of Libra, Venus ruled Libra. I am sorry it's a little bit late. Happy New Year. I really want to say, as a Libra myself, that I feel extremely strongly that things are definitely looking up for us, okay? And there's huge transformations in the planet as they change signs from many years, some maybe not as much. And then, of course, you know, the Pluto transition from Capricorn to Aquarius, steadfast and going strong, you know, for the next 20 years is extremely good for us, Libras, as a fellow air sign. And so that's our power, and that's transformation at its deepest core, right? And growing from it and feeling that confidence and power. So I love it a lot. I do want to say that the readings are going to be a little bit shorter because I am running behind, but I actually did your full reading yesterday, Libra. In fact, for the shortened version, it was the longest reading I've done. And I had a break between work. I did a split shift as a massage therapist, and I came home and I'm like, yes, I can get more done, you know? And I love it. It excites me. And it just would not let me upload the video. And I have not actually been having issues with that. So I don't even know why. I'm not that savvy about that sort of thing. But here I am, and we're doing it again. I did struggle with the idea of keeping the actual cards out. And then I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a fresh reading. But if there's duplicates, I wrote down what was here. So I definitely have to show you, because that is absolutely Spirit saying they really want you to know about this message. Okay. So I will absolutely do that for you. Now, there are a couple things. If you're new, welcome. I'm a psychic, intuitive, and channeler of tarot and all sorts of divinations. You know, I love them all, and so I incorporate them in different readings, and I want to continue to evolve in that regard. And so I start with the chakra check, because our chakras are our energy centers, and they are extremely important for every portion of our body and to feel our most balanced, like Libras always strive to feel, right? And then also just our strengths and our all our gifts, you know, being utilized in the most fantastic ways. And sometimes, you know, we can feel a little stuck in some areas, a little blocked. And so this is just a little bit of a preview of what you can do and how you can focus and do meditation for a minute or as long as you want, that can truly help to keep these, you know, thriving, all of these chakras thriving. And there are a total of 8. Now, most of the time people thought 7, but this beautiful deck of color cards that I got so many years ago, and Spirit said that I should be incorporating the chakras. It includes an 8th chakra, which is the all knowing chakra, you know, up from the crown chakra. And it is about just the fact that we are one consciousness and we are all connected. So I always do a little meditation, and I talk to the sign I'm about to read to. And then I get this intuitive hit as to what glove I should wear, which is also representing color and energy and chakras, you know, in association with the colors. So purple, I mean, I'm a little biased. It's just about using our beautiful intuition. It's going to be extremely potent. It already has been potent. And I'll explain why a little bit more through the reading, and how wonderful that is and how we can utilize it even more. So I'm going to shuffle into here. I will tell you, though, that I've gone halfway through the readings, and I think 3 of them were the sacral chakra, and then 2 right up back to back were the crown chakra. Yep. And then there was 1 solar plexus, which is absolutely perfect for the reading. And so for you, beautiful Libras, let us see what we have here. And we have, okay, we've got the root chakra. That's our first chakra. That is power. That is grounded energy. That is so important. That is our foundation, feeling steady and secure and well provided for. And it does have, like I said, a saying on it. So I'll read to you what that is. And that was different from yesterday's for you, but we don't need to know about that other than to say, clearly this is really important. And I will also say that as a grounded energy, we are in the season of Capricorn, which is an earth sign. So it's very synchronistic with the time, and you're picking up on that energy. So it's number one, first chakra. The words and the mantra that you could use to help clear this and keep it strong and working in the best way for you is: the presence of spirit is solidly rooted in my body. I have the right to be here, and my life is abundant with love, comfort, and vitality. And you saying these words, Libras, I mean, it's almost as good as done, because we manifest all the time, but it's not only what we say out loud, it's what we're thinking and our self-talk that really starts the energy going, and it could be for our betterment or not. It could be for good or worse. So I always really, really am in tune with what I'm saying in my subconscious out loud to create the best life and the best possible way, and to love ourselves, and to treat ourselves like we would treat our best friends, basically. So I like this for you a lot. I will also then incorporate the appropriate crystal, which I like to wear during the session to infuse the reading with. And this is going to be, I'll read off the card about the crystal that is connected with the first chakra. And it says, grounded, healthy, and strong. Health is so much a part of our sustenance and our well-being, right? I mean, finances is great, and that's involved too in our root chakra. But for me, it's number one is health, because nothing else really matters as much, and you really can't create wealth if you're not feeling your best, and getting out to be able to do so. The crystal is red jasper, and the saying is, I am healthy, strong, and stable. And that is just, it doesn't have to be a lot, but those words can really make a huge difference in the outcome of your day or your year and this new year, for example. So let me find that for you. It's in this beautiful little pouch. Comes as a whole set, which I think is just a beautiful thing. I don't know where it was a gift, but I just absolutely love it. And so here is the red jasper. So I'm going to stick that in there. It's our beautiful, beautiful grounded energy while we're doing this reading. Now, I will mention some of the important, I feel, as a very, very strong astrological enthusiast, the lunar happenings that will be happening for January 2025. And we just had a new moon, which was the second new moon in Capricorn, the 30th or 31st, depending on where you're located, in Capricorn. Now, that is exactly what we're speaking of. This is that energy. Capricorns are all about success, determination, will, staying on the course, just boom, looking at the big picture, very interested in finances and resources and, living the comfortable life, grounded, strong. All of those beautiful things are there and can be a part of all of our lives as a collective. When the moon has that particular sign, depending on what it is all is relative to all of us. And so I think it's a great way to start the new year, because the effects can be anywhere from a week to 2 weeks or longer. And I'm reading this on the 4th. So that was beautiful. And then the full moon is happening, and I look up at the sky at night, and it's just such a beautiful crescent moon right now. It's one of my favorite moons to see. And I don't know, moons they control the tides. There's this gravitational thing that just, it really sucks us in amazing ways sometimes. When it's a new moon, I always like to write intentions of what I want to do and what I want to see happen. And a lot of times it truly can happen. It's just part of the mysteries and magical aspects of life, right here for us to experience every day. And the full moon is going to be on the 13th, which is going to be in Cancer. Cancer is so much about emotions and water, and Cancer is ruled by the moon, so it's very comfortable in Cancer. But there's just this feeling. Well, I can go into a little more detail. There's this feeling of absolute compassion and just this feeling of wanting to nurture things that matter to us and be near the people we love and just spend quality time. It could be your furry family, it could be real family, it could be obviously your loved one, your spouse, your good friends. It's just, it shines a light on that. And how are you feeling? Are you feeling like your cup is full enough when it comes to the love that you're giving and receiving? And this is a big thing. And it's not unlike any other sign, other than the fact that it rules. Cancer rules our emotions and our deepest feelings, And so as a water sign, they can also be very, very perceptive and intuitive and psychic. And well, yesterday on the 2nd, Venus went into the sign of Pisces, and that is so incredibly beautiful. If you have any Pisces placements, it's going to be a really beautiful stay. It'll be through the 4th, I believe it said, of February. But even if you're not, it's great for us Libras because we are ruled by Venus. And Venus is the benevolent planet. And it's all about joy and love and passion and beauty and, feeling better and carrying that kind of glow about you, and people kind of recognizing and you're kind of sticking out. But the thing is, when it is in the sign of Pisces, when Venus is in Pisces, it's exalted, meaning it's the most happy there, and it's in our 6th house. So the 6th house represents our day-to-day routines, our work, our family, our inspirations, definitely our health. So we've got this beautiful array, I want to say glove comes to mind. I guess because I'm wearing gloves now as my trademark. No, but it's just a wonderful thing. Now, I can give an example, if I may, and that is that I am, as I mentioned, a massage therapist many years, love it deeply, and I have been getting some of the most incredibly generous gratuities and tips. It's the Venus. It truly, just watch for magic. Good luck, more money, more, sensuality, more sexuality, you're just feeling alive. And so that's going to affect all of us. But yeah, in our 6th house, I think it's really, really great because otherwise, and health can be, if you've been feeling down, you can heal, I would say, quicker, or maybe not even get to a point where you're ill. Just make sure you're doing the balance the best you can, Libra, because it is what you know well and your forte. So there's that. And then the last I will speak of is the new moon, on the 29th, which will be in Aquarius, which is another beautiful energy for us. It's about really getting things going. I think there's a hesitation with Mars being retrograde, and our energy's probably been feeling a little wonky, and sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. Please go with whatever works. Do not push yourself. Please do not feel rushed. Or, as a cardinal sign, we like to be doing and moving and shaking. And I was feeling bad about not having these out. But trust me, there's things that have happened that have taken up my time I never saw. And I just have to go with it. I just want to do what I can do. And I know that you guys are amazing anyway. So I guess I'm hardest on myself. Now, the North and the South nodes are changing. And they were in Aries and Libra. North node, Aries, South node, Libra, where we were releasing so much in the past total like 18 months. The last Aries eclipse will be in March at the end of it. And I will say that, this is a time between today, the 2nd, and really April, that there will be a lot of retrograde energy. So it's very internalizing time. It's a time to really kind of focus and plan and strategize and revisit. And there's people coming in you haven't seen, and there's conversations that need to be, addressed, and all these things. Now, Mars is the volatile planet, is the warrior planet, and it is what rules Aries, but it doesn't have to be something that just really destroys or tears you up or makes you feel terrible. It gives you incentive and action mode kind of feelings. It gives you energy. And I don't think a lot of Libras, to be honest. I mean, I have a temper. We all do. But I generally, I don't see myself when I'm angry. It's usually at me. It's not an outward thing. And if you're around it, I think you pretty much don't want to be a part of the, discord. I really feel strongly. So just be aware of, the surroundings that you're in, because it does affect us even when we don't want to participate. Okay. So, and things you watch, things you listen to, all that matters so much for our well-being. So that's the lowdown on the planets. Now we're going to get to your reading, I promise. And what I'm going to do is let you know that I'm using this beautiful new deck I got. I love it so much. It was a gift for me for my birthday. Purple hair. My favorite color. And it's called the Small Spells Tarot. It's pretty great. I noticed a lot of snakes. It's by Rachel Howe. And it's a snake year. It's also a 9 year. So I don't know what your personal year is. You can find that out by adding up your birth date and then the year, which is 2025. And then, breaking it down to a single number. But the 9 is about completion. So this is a spiritual number. It's a beautiful, elevated, I love the number 9. My birthday is on a 9. So I'm a life path 5 though. Trust me on that, but we're not going into that right now. So yeah, just look that up and know that you did a lot of completions last year. It's not stopping. But it's all for our betterment. It's so wonderful. This literally just flew out. So this is going to be your recent past first card. And it's death. Oh my goodness. And transformation. I don't think this is surprising to you at all. Now, of course, death is, people think, no, not death. Well, death happens to every single one of us. And it did, in fact, happen in my family. And 2 weeks ago. So yeah, it is part of life, but that's not what this is really representing. This is showing that you are putting the end to something or some things. It started last year. It could be friendships and associates, but it could definitely be just ideas and thoughts that you had that were not serving you in any way, shape, or form. I fully know what that means for me. Releasing definitely people, maybe a job, maybe you're just like, I'm done with that. I really want to start this new creative endeavor. Because when we have North Node Pisces, my goodness, Libra, they are so incredibly spiritual, and it's all about love. It's the Empress. It's like and so is, you represent the Empress too, by the way. It's just this giving and receiving, the reciprocity, the balance, the give and take, the compromise, all the things we love. It is really getting the sacral chakra, which is the second chakra for our creativity and our sensuality, and just letting it flow and just letting it burst out. Things that you didn't even know necessarily were a part of you are going to come out for about 18 months or more. And so the death of something you didn't want, it's a 13, which is 4, which brings stability. I think a lot of you know what it is and what you've already done to establish and to create that in this moment. But there might be more coming, and honestly, you're going to be it's just going to be everything that's so important. Having those boundaries very firmed up was a huge lesson for all of us, and a lot of us with the South Node. So I love seeing that. I do. I think it's perfect. And that's your recent past. So you already are familiar with that feeling. I think a lot of it, like I said, you have made that happen in some capacity of your life. But the second one is the present. And you have the 7 of Swords. Let me double check something real quick. Okay, now, that was another reading. I could have sworn it was in the same position. 7 of Swords in your present. 7 of Swords, and here's that snake. Snake can also mean, people that are kind of being a little slimy, a little bit sneaky, right? 7 arrows, or swords, forgive me. Generally, it's a depiction on the Rider-Waite Smith I always use as a reference. Beautiful, bright, solar plexus energy, good stuff, strength, courage, wisdom, confidence, all the things you need when you're starting something and you want to go forward and you want to feel like this is the thing I need to do. Because if you don't believe it, no one else does. But this is somebody in broad daylight stealing 5 swords and thinking, I suppose, oh, no one's going to notice. Well, guess what? You were hip to this way before they made a fool of themselves by thinking they could get away with something. Because you know what? You are incredibly intuitive, and you're going to be even more so, like as I mentioned at the beginning. And so who's ever done something to try to fool you or trick you or deceive you in any way, it's just, that's somebody you obviously don't need, or something you don't need, or some circumstance. But you're not going to be surprised. You already know. Also, I do have to be real with you in saying that it could be something you yourself are kidding yourself and have been kidding yourself about. And only you know what that is. But just being very, very honest and sitting with things that you may have questions about. And once you do, you're good as gold. So along with this death and getting rid of, and then realizing, okay, that's not going to work for me anymore. I don't know why I thought it would, or, all the variables there. So just stay strong to your intuition and your inner knowing. Okay. That's the present. So let's go with the future. And we have the King of Swords. So there's real truth right there. And that is you. It doesn't have to be a specific gender. Either one is absolutely your energy. It is the fortified strength you have. It's a Gemini. It is an Aquarius. And it's somebody who's going to be very real with you. And they're going to cut away all the riffraff. And they're going to say, this is the conversation we're going to have. And we're going to be strong and truthful. And there won't be any second guessing or wondering, I wonder if, the Neptune kind of nebulous things that have been going on as well, being in Pisces, also changing though later into Aries. So it's a lot more direct. It's not going to be so vague. I don't think anything in Aries is pretty straightforward. So I love that. But you're going to be possibly talking to somebody, because this is the air signs having to do with the intellect, and usually people are in higher positions, that are there to help you. Like for myself, I'm an intuitive energy reader. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a financial advisor. That's what kind of fields these people can be in. And you might want to speak and sit with them and say, okay, for example, I definitely am changing my attitude and my financial status this year. There's no question about it. I've been doing that, but now it's like, this is the absolute year. I'm going to forfeit doing stuff. I'm going to add more time to doing readings, which I love. And hopefully with your help and enough likes and subscribes, growing the channel so I can be monetized. It'll be a source of income, but that takes time. A lot of time, but if you do like and you're resonating, that would be extremely helpful and supportive. It always is. It's free, but only if you feel like it. I'm a soft sale, okay? So, but it is important, and YouTube wants to see that. So this is really, really wonderful, because that's the Aquarian, just like, let's break out of this box or this routine or something that we've been doing, and let's investigate this, and let's think at the big picture. Okay, that's Aquarius for sure. Aquarius is the star, holding on to your dream and never, ever letting go, even with the distractions and the things that come and go, or not being able to upload, those kind of things. That's not saying stop. That's saying be patient, try again. The planetary alignments just aren't working with your technology right now. Okay, it can be that simple. So we're going to clarify these for you. And so the death comes with the 5 of Cups. Now, the 5 of Cups is known as the card of boredom. So I hope that's not the case. I hope that maybe it is. Maybe because of the boredom, you said, I don't want to pursue and put any more energy into ... blank this year at all. So what are you going to do? What's that going to be? I mean, a lot of times people in the Five of Cups, they can be, well, actually, I'm wrong about this. I apologize. It's a Four of Cups that would be more the boredom. And then there's the hand from the, from the gods, offering you a cup to realize you have so much potential in here. This could be just what you're needing. But the 5 is crying over spilled milk. There are 3 that are down in front of you. The cups have been, the milk is wine, whatever is spilt. And you've got 2 standing behind you. Life is like that. We're losing and winning at every single turn of our life, right? If you want to put it in those terms. Focus on what you have, okay? And definitely recognize the many blessings and feel incredibly gratified and the gratitude for them. And all it does is just bring more into your life. It's just this wonderful thing, it allows more to come in because it's knowing that you are loving and deserving of it. And you're basically saying, thank you, and I'll take some more. I appreciate it. So then we go to the present and the 7 of Swords. Curious, very curious. What do we have here? Well, there you go. The 7 and the 9. This is the present right now in this moment is something you want to absolutely focus on, because this kind of energy and thoughts, which we think all the time as an air sign, right, Libra? It's not doing us any good. If you are caught up in worrying about, how somebody did you wrong, because, of course you are going to feel something, and everybody does. But please don't allow that to get too deep into your psychosis or anything like, is that a word, psychosis? Your psyche, because it's ever changing. And I think it has a lot to do with the retrograde too, because it's just the Mars thing, and people are acting out in ways that they don't normally do. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean you're the reason, but you're around it. And it's upsetting. It's not something we want. We love beauty and love and light. And so, yeah, please don't let anything get to you to the point where you are too much in your head. Okay, and just snap out of it, as they say, and know that better days are ahead, better moments. It's a day by day, but it's a moment by moment play, really. So let's see what this beautiful future with this solid information and inspiration for you can be, because it's in your energy, and that's a beautiful thing. And you have the 8 of Swords. Well, my goodness, this is an interesting. I've not had this reading, but you know what? It's all perfect, because the 8 of Swords is you feeling like you're confined. It feels as though you think you're trapped. Now, really, the spiderweb is what retrogrades represent in a lot of ways. It's when things are we're waiting for things to come to us, at this point, as an analogy. You can put things out into the ocean, but if it's a retrograde, the tide just keeps coming back and bringing it right back to you. Okay, so it's not a time to try to force things or maybe even start this new venture, even though you're wanting to end another, but it's a time for thought, and those thoughts are going to definitely need to be uplifting and positive. And I promise you, this influence here of you and your trust and your faith and your confidence, which is what the root chakra was about, is going to help you to eliminate feeling like you don't have a way, or you're trapped, or, all the worries that come with having a mind like a Libra's. Let's be real, okay? So you can end something, you can recognize what you do have. This is really a decent reading about I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought completely. I apologize. I'm taken in by this. And I'm just realizing for myself, I'm not, as a Libra, I've gone through this. It's probably everything that's happened, but it does say present and, possible future. Hey, not everybody resonates with these things. But really focusing on the things that you want. That's really going to be a very cool thing to do. And also to release the stresses and, the worries that are still clearly in your mind. So I'm going to pull another one just because I don't want to end with that. And there's the moon. Well, the moon is definitely affecting us. And this full moon is going to be very, very emotional in a lot of ways. But I think it's going to bring some of that softer loving, and it'll get us out of our minds and our faces, our heads, our faces. Get us out of our heads. That's becoming very clear, excuse me, that that's what needs to be happening, okay? And yeah, the moon is, it can be kind of, you're not 100% sure. Maybe you're not seeing things that clearly. I think the full moon in Cancer happening is definitely going to illuminate some things, and that needs to be done. But don't worry about any of it. Please don't let anything or fear lead you in these messages or anything, because this is just recognizing our own makeup, you know, and how we deal with things, and asking you to just realize you have control over everything, how you think. Not everything, but certainly how you think, and then how that makes you feel, and we can really change that around. Please get out into nature comes to mind. The moon is 9, so, and this new moon on the end of the month, that's going to be in Aquarius, is going to be extremely powerful and good for you, and it's going to bring all these new revelations up. So all of this will be history. So try to get through these times that you're feeling a little less secure, and recognize that you've got whatever it takes to be and do whatever you need to do. I'm going to finish with your oracle message, because this is the last message that I've been doing for the readings, and also because I love them, and they are called the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. So let's see here. Let's see if your video uploads. I certainly hope it does. And once again, thank you so much for your time. If you're still hanging out here, let's finish with this. And it is the Cosmos. All right, so here you go. This is really what it's about. Creativity, which we mentioned, which is going to be in just buckets and buckets with this North Node in Pisces. And then, of course, you know, Venus in Pisces right now. And vastness. Try not to be in a small space and thinking this is all there is, because it's all I can see right now, like the 5 of Cups and the things in front of you that just haven't been good. There's so much more ahead. And I can honestly say I really believe, with everything I'm studying and hearing and learning, that as long as you allow it and you want it, it is going to be a phenomenal year, and it's going to be something that you didn't see necessarily coming in some ways, but you also did create. And you're going to be in a far better place emotionally, and I would say physically, as far as, you know, just feeling stable, and the base chakra being there, and, you know, staying grounded. So thank you again so much. I'm sorry for the delay. Have a beautiful January. I do collective readings for all signs. It's a general collective reading on Mondays, and it tends to last a little longer. You might want to stop in for that. I would love it. Take good care until then. Bye-bye.